I lingered in that wood-paneled chamber like a ghost between breaths, still and unseen, a shadow at the edge of what was once my life. To my left sat the woman who used to be my wife. Draped in expensive dark silk, she looked elegant, untouched, the fabric pooling around her like armor. Her eyes were clear to clear, not a trace of mourning for the woman who raised her. And the smile she wore, hollow, practiced, something pulled from a drawer for occasions like these. Beside her lounged him younger, smug, radiating the confidence of a man who believes he's won before the game even began. He rested his arm across her shoulders like he owned her, like she was a trophy earned, not a wife taken. His other hand lay protectively on the back of a small child, soft-cheeked, wide-eyed, innocent. A child who wasn't mine, but could have been, should have been. The child called her mama. Across the room, the lawyer adjusted his spectacles, sorting through the stack of legal documents like they were just another day's work. But these weren't ordinary pages. This was the will, her will, Margaret Reynolds. My mother-in-law, fierce, brilliant, sharp as shattered glass, and warm in a way her daughter never fully learned to be. She had treated me like blood, even when Elise had already decided I was disposable. Margaret saw me the man, not the role, and when Elise cast me aside, Margaret never looked away. As the lawyer cleared his throat, Elise straightened slightly, her chin lifting, her poise calculated. I could almost hear her thoughts ticking off the list of inheritances she believed were already hers: the family home, the beach property, the investment portfolio, the trust funds her mother had carefully built across decades. But Margaret hadn't died blind, and I hadn't arrived empty-handed. Elise and I had once been love raw, reckless, and consuming. She was fire and light and laughter, all heat and spark. And I, the quiet architect, had built a world around her, thinking love could be bricks and vows if only I tried hard enough. We shared dreams, we made promises, and I kept mine. For years, we tried to build a family. Each failed test, every empty nursery, every sterile hospital room chipped away at us. She told me it wasn't my fault. She said she needed space. And I, fool that I was, thought she meant to grieve, to breathe. But her distance had a name, a face, a smirk. He had been there all along, at her yoga studio, at her side. One class became private sessions. Private sessions became weekends away. Then came the secrets, the stories, the cold shoulders, the late nights, the lies. The first time I saw the baby, Elise was outside a cafe, kissing his soft crown, eyes lit with something more than grief. For a recently departed mother, she looked alive, glowing, to glowing. That's when the truth settled into my bones like a cold wind. So I dug, quietly, methodically. I unearthed the apartment she'd paid for in his name, the hotel bills, hidden under vague codes on our shared account, the nanny contract tucked in a folder, the second phone. The deception was layered, calculated, surgical, confronting her. No, that would have been too merciful. Instead, I went to Margaret. Her body was fading, but her mind remained fierce. When I told her, laid it all bare, the timelines, the receipts, the false IVF treatments used as a smokescreen for infidelity. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She smiled. And then she asked me one thing: do you trust me? I didn't hesitate. Always. The next day, she rewrote her will. She didn't show me the details. She didn't need to. She simply promised Elise would learn the true cost of betrayal. And Margaret was a woman who always delivered. At her funeral, I arrived unannounced, quiet suit, no theatrics. I let Elise think I was still the broken man she had discarded, passive, mourning, lost. But I was there for the end of the performance. The lawyer's voice sliced clean through the thick, waiting silence. To my cherished daughter, Elise, if you're hearing this, I am gone. And if you are sitting beside that man, I am not surprised. Elise's jaw clenched, her lover shifted in his chair, discomfort replacing arrogance. You brought shame into my home. You lied to my face. You mocked my trust, and you underestimated the only one who truly loved you. The lawyer paused, his eyes scanning the stunned faces around the room. So, this is your inheritance. Nothing, not a dollar, not a ring, not the house, not the stocks, nor the cars, nor the art, nor the name that built them. The entire estate, the properties, the beach house, the shares has been placed in a trust. He inhaled, then read the final line. My trust, left in full, to the man you betrayed. The son I chose, this is your legacy now. Guard it better than I did. The silence in the room became something living, sharp, suffocating. Elisa's mouth parted. Her lover muttered a curse. The child whimpered. I leaned forward just enough to meet her gaze, and I smiled. Her chair scraped loudly as she stood, demanding answers, threatening litigation, shouting that this was unjust, unforgivable. But the lawyer remained unfazed. Margaret had sealed every document with clarity and legal rigor. The estate was mine. Elise kept glancing at me, searching for weakness in the man she once discarded like old linen. But all she saw now was a calm resolve, unshaken and absolute. The man she left behind now held everything she had gambled for and lost. Later, in the parking lot, she caught up with me. Rain trickled down from a bruised sky. Her voice trembled not from sorrow, but rage. You turned her against me. I met her eyes, unwavering. No, you did. I just showed her the truth. Tears filled her eyes, but they weren't tears of regret. They were the bitter, stinging tears of a schemer watching her house of lies collapse around her. You can't take everything from me, she hissed. I stepped closer, voice calm. You gave it away. Then I got into my car and drove off, leaving her standing in the rain. 6 months passed. She now lives in a one-bedroom apartment. The yoga studio, gone. Financial collapse. The man she chose over me, he left. Raising another man's child wasn't part of his life plan after all. All that ambition, all that betrayal, and still she ended up alone. Last week, I received an email from her. Apologies, regrets, talk of missing our life, wanting to reconnect. I didn't reply, because closure doesn't come from words. It comes from silence, from walking away with your dignity intact, from knowing the truth came to light and the mask shattered on its own. Margaret didn't just leave me wealth, she left me justice. She left me peace. She gave me back everything Elise tried to steal, and in the end, she gave Elise exactly what she deserved.